Hey guys, welcome back to Pauly's Hat Trick. One host, three hats. Let's get to it. The first hat that I start with is always a teaser cap, and I will introduce you to this one next week. This is a first release cap from a group of folks out there that I will share a little bit more detail on next week, as well as detail on this beautiful hat here. So I want to start this week out with what was my teaser cap last week. A leather newsboy. This is my first and only leather cap that I own at the moment. This is the Leather Bike Night Newsboy, which was presented by Funky Brims, and it's a Hales flannel collaboration. It retailed for $120, and to the best of my knowledge, there are not any discount codes out there that can be used on most of the Hales collabs that they drop. It's a classic 8-panel newsboy. The leather is so soft to the touch, it's not even funny. It's got the Bike Night theme on the inside, Funky Brims logo and Bike Night there. It has the Hales flannel here. This particular flannel, it has the orange and the black and the silver, reminiscent of Harley colors. I can't say enough about this cap. The leather has a very soft liner inside of it, and the leather is soft and light. Not light enough that I think the South Florida and South Texas folks are going to wear this too much, except in the winter. But you could wear this quite a bit in the other parts of the U.S. throughout the year. As a rider myself, I appreciate the leather to no end. Chances are I will probably have this in my tour pack this year as I ride around a little bit, especially on cooler nights when I'll probably want to put it on. It's a clean hat. It retailed again for $120, and I believe they currently only have size 55 and 57 left. So you'd probably have to buy it on the secondary market. But again, Leather Bike Night from Funky Brims. There were some others that came out in this collab. There was a patchwork newsboy. There was a leather flat cap. But this is the one that I wound up with. I'm super happy to have it. And I hope that you will at least consider it if you're looking for a leather cap. And if they have your sizes out there, or if you can buy it on the secondary market. Let's go to hat number 2. Hey guys. Welcome to hat number 2. Hat number 2 this week is the Boston Scally Company 8-panel Irish in white herringbone. Just real quick to answer a question that I actually got sent to me this week, is if I still offer any kind of love to Boston Scally, and the answer is yes. I still have a great deal of Boston Scally caps back here, and some that I really, really like. I don't know if you remember from my first episode, Boston Scally was one of the first hats that I jumped on and that kind of started me down this road. So, there have been a couple of cases where there's been some letdowns with sizes, and I've had to return them. And there's been a couple of instances, in addition to that, where I've returned them and I haven't been fortunate enough to get them back because they're already sold out. So that's the nature of the beast with Boston Scally, and I think most people have learned that over time. This is one that I did grab. This is one that came out around the St. Patrick's Day time. They're 8-panel Irish white herringbone. The white herringbone was intriguing to me, not something that you see a lot of. And I love the Irish theme. Not a thick herringbone either, if you see my hand through here. And then it has the clover stitched on back. But this pattern, I just think it's really clean. And, you know, if you just want a grab-and-go type of cap, this is one that you could do. It'll go with t-shirts, it'll go with shorts, it'll go damn near anything. It is herringbone, even though it looks thin from what I showed you. There's some warmth to this when you put it on your head. So as we start to roll into the summer months, this may not be one that you want to wear on a regular basis, but it's definitely one that'll get you through fall, winter, and parts of spring. So there you have it. I think we all know the regular pricing that goes with Boston Scally, but I do want to extend a reminder. Veterans, there is a veterans discount that you can get from Boston Scally. I don't think it's appropriate to put it on here. Reach out to me and I will explain to you how to get it. And I think you'll be happy with it if you do proceed to get that. So don't hesitate to reach out for that. Hat number 2, Boston Scally, 8-panel, white herringbone Irish. Let's move on to hat number 3. All right, guys, the third and final cap that I'm super excited to introduce you to this week. I even dressed up and found a shirt that kind of matches it, just so I could introduce you to this, because I want to introduce you to the company, the person behind it, and the hats. They're just amazing. So this is a hat from Zia Hat Makers. They are headquartered in New Mexico. The owner is Mike Negard, and Mike Negard is a very cool cat to chat with. As a matter of fact, Mike and I share hometowns that are only about 98 miles apart from each other. So we're both from Colorado, and we both share some stories about our love for Colorado and the Southwest and that whole region. And the hat here is called the Storm. It has a great color palette to it. I love this material. It's got a great texture. It kind of reminds me of a stone look to it. It's clean. And then as you can probably see, we've got our black corduroy here, and we have our blue and black felt, and then it repeats itself in an 8-panel cap. One of the things that you don't see a lot of in this little world that we're in is this right here. As I mentioned, they're headquartered in New Mexico, made right there, and of course the symbol for New Mexico as well. Satin liner, leather under the brim, and again, let me just show you this guy while I talk about the fact that it's just an amazing cap and an amazing company. The way that you get one of these is unique as well. You have to like or follow Zia Hat Makers. And what they do is when they're ready to release a new cap, they put a form out there that you fill out with your information, contact information, and your hat size. And then you go into a lottery in order to be considered to purchase one of those hats. So if he's got 60 hats, he's going to draw 60 names out of all the people that put the form in, and those 60 people are fortunate enough to be able to purchase a cap. They're not expensive. I think they go from $45 to $65 depending on design, quality, style, etc. Maybe even some more. It all kind of depends on what Mike decides to throw out there. But made in America, a homemade in America cap with color palettes that'll knock your socks off. The two previous to this are a massacre cap, which is focused around the St. Valentine's Day massacre here in the Chicago area, and the Houndstone, which I dearly regret missing out on because the color palette on that thing is amazing. Slightly reminiscent of the Boston Scally tattoo series, but the fabrics and patterns knock your socks off and they come together so cleanly it's not even funny. So look up Zia Hat Makers, like their page, follow them, and get ready to get in the hunt for what I think are going to be some really sharp looking caps that'll continue to come. Now, it fits a little shallower than most hats that I have that are 8 panels, and I think that's because I've become accustomed to the 8 panels. But it doesn't fit, it doesn't misfit at all. It fits nice, and it's snug on my head, and it's just a great cap. I can't say enough about what Mike's doing out there and what his crew, which is mainly his family and perhaps another friend or two that are putting these hats together, are doing to make some waves in this world of caps that we love so much. Zia Hat Makers, The Storm, is my third and final cap for this week. And I do hope you check them out, and I do hope that you get into the raffles for some of their hats that are coming up in the future. Check them out. Let's move on to socials. All right, guys, let's jump into socials. Not as busy a week as some of the past ones have been, so I should be able to get through this pretty quick and get you back to your weekend. I'm going to start with Boston Scally. Yesterday, they dropped their Jockey, which is a blue patchwork flat cap, a pretty sharp-looking cap, I might add. Included with that, they also brought back the Triple Crown, the Julep, and the Derby. So those 4 hit the bricks yesterday. Also yesterday, Funky Brims brought forward another Hales collaboration. The Hales flannel this time is blue. It's got a pretty colorway of blue, and it's called the Calypso. Funky Brims dropped 4 caps with that. They brought forth a solid blue flat cap, the flannel flat cap, and then they brought forth a newsboy patchwork and a ladies newsboy patchwork. So those 4 also hit the bricks yesterday. And then last but not least, Peaky Hat introduced 2 new colors to their Bob Wayne and their Bobby line. The Bob Wayne is the newsboy. The Bobby is the Ivy flat cap. The color they introduced is a really kind of a shimmery silver/gray. They're calling it Parkinson's gray. It's a really sharp looking color. 100% of the profits of the sale of those caps goes to the Michael J. Fox Foundation in order to help find a cure for Parkinson's. And additionally, each cap comes with a Parkinson's tulip pin. So check those out. Some really cool colors that they've added to those 2 lines, and I think you might like them. And I think that's about it for right now. So I'm going to get you guys back to your weekend, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to both my Facebook page and my YouTube channel for Pauly's Hat Trick. Thank you, guys. Have a great one. Bye.